All right, as far as injuries go, Richie James, knee, he has an MCL. He won't practice today. Pacheco has a hamstring contusion. He won't practice. It's not a tear. It's just, and then Tony's got the sprained toe, and then Bolton and Willie have a sprained ankle and a quad contusion. So they're working through those. They, the latter two did the walkthrough, but won't practice after. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Bears. Good football team, well coached by Matt and his staff, and they've got good players, and so we've got to make sure that we have a good week of preparation. Anyways, with that, time, George.
Coach, is there any type of, is there a reason why you all only ran the ball 4 times in the first half, or at least twice in the first half with Mahomes running? Is there a conscientious effort going forward to try to have a little bit more balance in that offense?
Yeah, just trying to do what we need to do, to move the ball. So we'll keep mixing it.
Twice in the
Yeah. There wasn't. Yeah.
Andy, Patrick talked about zone defense you guys have been facing. Just generally speaking, what are sort of the keys to beating when you see a lot of zone coverage?
Yeah, well, feel, is the first thing. Just players being able to sit in holes and do those things. So they have been playing zone, but they've also been playing man on third down, and so they've got that package in. Last year they mixed it between man, single safety, middle man, zone, and all the shell coverages. They've got a big package of stuff they can roll at you. But to answer your question, zone, you got to have a feel for it.
It's maybe pretty obvious, but how much of getting used to that feel is just the experience? And obviously you guys have a lot of new guys you're cycling in there.
Yeah, that's we've got to do a better job there, but not with it's everybody. It's everybody. And then don't put ourselves in long yardage situations, where you potentially can't run the ball.
But the lack of contact and the lack of hitting when you did it for 50 years in the NFL, is the first month of the season almost like a crapshoot? You don't know really what you're going to get from your people and what to get from their people.
Yeah, well, I tell you that's every year. I mean, the first few games, everybody's bringing out their new stuff and working with that, or new players working with them, and so everything settles down after a month or so.
Coach, the injury list included a lot of key players. Or any of them appeared to be long-term?
Yeah, these guys, most of them are just day-to-day.
Gotcha.
Richie might be a little bit longer, yeah, possibly.
Andy,
The other ones are day-to-day.
sorry. Andy, with your appreciation of NFL history and where you are on the wins list now, I just wondered what perspective you might have on Tom Landry, particularly if you were conscious of him growing up, and as well as George Hallis, to what degree you had any engagement or consciousness of them?
I know who both of them are. Tom Landry, I do know that. Tom Landry, I'd tell you that when I was a kid, I'd go out to their training camps in Cal Lutheran, California there. Very impressed by how they operated. They, he was a phenomenal coach, phenomenal teams, and loved watching. But that was, that was about it.
What moved you to go out to, was it Thousand Oaks?
Yeah.
You were pretty young to be going out there.
Yeah, it was junior high school and high school, yeah. But we had an opportunity to go out and watch practice, and it was great for a kid. I mean, it was a great deal.
Playing any NFL thoughts at that point?
No, I was just watching the guys. They had a lot of great players. Leroy Jordan, Lilly, when he was still going, and you could go on and on. They had a bunch of them.
And last thing, just with Hallis, his place in NFL history. I know you referred to him before with LDT and some things like that, but I just wonder what your thoughts about him are.
Great innovator. He'll get this league started, so you know that, and I know his daughter, and And so I know that part of it and his grandkids, but I didn't know him. But he left a great legacy.
Coach, another off-the-field question. One of your former players, Jamaal Charles, up for 2024 class of Hall of Fame. What do you remember about him?
Hall of Fame player. So he was tremendous. Could do everything. I mean, literally everything. He could have played wide receiver. Did play running back. You give him the ball, you're guaranteed whatever his average is. But it's one of the highest, if not the highest, in the league history. So I mean, he's a great player. Wish I would have had him, when he was even younger than what I got him at. So.
I know you're not a voter, but do you feel like he should be a first ballot?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no. There are a lot of running backs who play the game,
Right.
and he's right there statistically at the top. And then, all the things that he could do to help you win a football game. Not a lot of guys can do that, and he did it easily.
Andy, you talked the other day about Jamaal Taylor and some of the problems he's having. You said they could be fixed. What's that process? Can you elaborate on what that process will be like for him and for you as coaches to help him through that?
Yeah, so he works hard on getting off the snap on time. He does that, but he's just going to have to, tame that down just a little bit, where he doesn't get called on it, and that's just working through it.
He and Donovan Smith have been, they've had some penalties, but they've also shown some glimpses of why they're proven vets in the league. Just
Yeah, but you take the penalties away from, 7-4, man. He had a really good game, so it's a shame that happened, but he's got to work on that. And Donovan likewise. I mean, you're right. Donovan's done a nice job.
Justin Fields has mentioned trying to play without thinking too much. As you groomed, Donovan and now Patrick, he's in his third year. How do you balance, maybe providing too much and still letting a quarterback that's that dynamic play their game?
He's a good football player, and he can do so many things. I don't know. I mean, I'm not there. I've never.
more so in your experience.
Yeah. I think they'll work it out. I mean, that's what they're doing right now. So I don't know exactly what he said, but if he's saying that, then he's working through it. And, it's important that we kind of get ourselves right to play a guy that can do so many different things. He'll be one of the faster guys on the field. He can do all of that. Smart. He's got a good arm. So.
Coach, there's oftentimes about your coaching tree, but on the executive side, how do you feel Ryan Poles has done in the 2 years he's been in Chicago, coming from?
Yeah, I'm a big Ryan Poles fan, so I think he's good. He needs time. That's what it takes to do what he's being asked to do. So, but he's gotten in there and grinded like crazy and made changes that look like they're pretty good players.
Coach, is there a different intensity about Travis Kelce? A little chippiness after the game and then in training camp a little bit? I know injuries are awful, nobody likes them, but do you sense there's a different intensity that you're talking to him about?
No, not necessarily. He's always been feisty and competitive as all get out. My point was that he went into that game where he was banged up a little bit, didn't have an opportunity to knock the rust off in the first game. And so he put himself in a certain mindset. And the great ones can do that. I mean, he was there and he was battling through it. And I thought he did a heck of a job with it. I mean, he never complains, never says anything, and just goes. So, and he's not the youngest one out there, right? So he did. I thought he did a good job. But that's what he did. He went out and he had a certain attitude that he knew he was going to have to get through that game, and he put it on. And anybody that was going to mess with him, going to get messed back. So.
Couple more guys.
I know you don't get involved in the contract, you leave that up to Brett, but when Patrick gets a restructure done, gets rewarded, what do you say to him? Do you bring it up at all? Do you congratulate him, and does it make you think about, still how much longer you're going to be coaching him?
Yeah, no, I mean, I congratulate him. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, he's not big on all of that. He just kind of moves through it and like he does most things and wants to keep getting better at what he's doing. So that's what makes him unique with people. You don't sit there and go, oh, he's going to have a letdown. No, you never think of that. He just, hey, nice, congrats, keep moving, and that's how he rolls. But I'm happy for him. That Clark Hunt did that. Just shows you, what kind of owner he is, and then Brett and his crew there, Brent and Chris, just working through that with his agents, or with his agent, Chris. Those aren't easy. They're complicated, and they worked through it and came up with a good formula, I think, for both parties. So it was
You
good.
make him buy now when you guys go out to eat?
I might think of that.
Last two will go Rob and Nate.
I'm good.
Oh, you're good, okay. Last one, Nate. Oh, go ahead.
Andy, you guys have had a lot of success these first 2 weeks in nickel and dime. I just wonder from your standpoint, what do you think has led to that success, and how valuable is it to have success in both sub packages?
I think getting Snead back helps, right? We didn't have him preseason healthy, but getting him back in the mix here and going. And it's also the young DBs that have learned from last year. Now, every week's going to be a challenge. So, whatever they did last week was great. They got to do it again, and you got to build on that. But they've worked very hard. Spags does a great job of putting them in positions and moving them around and bringing different people in, giving different looks. And David and Donald do a great job coaching the back end. So there's good communication, and they work on their fundamentals all the time and techniques. So it's fun to watch them grow. But there's still plenty of room to go. It's and a lot of season here.
Last one, Aaron.
Chicago looking to avoid 0-3 and that kind of thing. You expect them to kind of roll the dice, go for a fourth down, be more aggressive, trying to avoid this?
Yeah, Matt's a tough guy, and that's the way he coaches that football team, and they play hard. And there's small margins between winning and losing in this league. We know that. And so we have to have a great week of preparation. That's the way that's one thing we can control, is going out there and working our tail off. And you put on the tape and you see how hard they play. And you better be ready, right? I mean, that's part of this.